Tonight, we revisit one of Tennessee's darkest chapters, a case that has haunted Knoxville for nearly 3 decades. Christa Gail Pike, now 49, was just 18 years old. She became the youngest woman ever sentenced to death in the United States. Convicted in 1996 for the brutal torture and murder of 19-year-old Colleen Slemmer, Pike's crime shocked the nation, not only for its savagery, but for the chilling detail that she kept a fragment of her victim's skull as a trophy. Now, the Tennessee Supreme Court has set an execution date, September 30th, 2026. If carried out, Pike will be the first woman executed in Tennessee in over 200 years. Her story is not just about crime and punishment. It's about the rare intersection of gender, justice, and the death penalty. Out of more than 2,000 inmates on death row nationwide, fewer than 50 are women. Pike's case forces us to confront uncomfortable questions. Does society view female offenders differently? And what does it mean when the state prepares to carry out such a rare sentence? The execution will take place at Riverbend Maximum Security Institution in Nashville. By law, Pike may choose between lethal injection or electrocution, a choice reserved for inmates sentenced before 1999. For the family of Colleen Slemmer, this date represents long-awaited closure. For others, it reignites the debate over capital punishment itself. Here's a concise summary of the key points to remember about Christa Pike's scheduled execution. Execution details. Christa Pike, the only woman on Tennessee's death row, is scheduled to be executed on September 30th, 2026. If carried out, it will be the first execution of a woman in Tennessee in over 200 years, since Martin Eve in 1820. Background. Pike was convicted in 1996 for the brutal murder of 19-year-old Colleen Slemmer in 1995. The crime involved torture, and Pike kept a fragment of the victim's skull as a trophy. Legal and historical significance. Her case is notable for its extreme violence and the rarity of female executions in the U.S. Pike is one of only 48 female death row inmates nationwide, compared to nearly 2,100 male inmates. If executed, she would be just the 4th woman ever executed in Tennessee. Execution method. Tennessee typically uses lethal injection, but inmates sentenced before 1999 may opt for electrocution. Broader implications. The case has reignited discussions about the death penalty, especially regarding gender and historical context. As the clock ticks toward 2026, Tennessee stands at the crossroads of history, preparing for an execution that will echo far beyond.
Only woman on death row in Tennessee. Megan Fee is at the WKRN.com alert desk with the latest update in this case out of Knoxville.
Peyton, a court order shows an execution date has been set for Christa Pike. She's the woman convicted of stabbing and killing a fellow Knoxville Job Corps worker back in 1995. Now, that Job Corps was a federal jobs training program for troubled adolescents. Pike was 18 at the time of the crime and then sentenced to death a year later in 96. She was also convicted of attempted murder in 2004 after she nearly choked a fellow inmate to death with a shoelace. Pike had asked the court to stop this motion for execution, but that request was denied. Pike's attorney saying in a statement this morning she should not receive the death penalty because of her age and severe mental illness at the time of the crime. Pike is set to be executed September 30th of next year.
Only woman on death row. Now, Christa Pike was sentenced to death for the 1995 murder of Colleen Slemmer in Knoxville. Pike's attorney says that she suffered abuse and mental illness, so they asked for her sentence to be commuted. Well, Tennessee did resume executions back in the month of May after a 3-year delay because of past issues going on with the lethal injection drug that is used for lethal injections. An independent review found that drugs were not fully tested for at least 7 executions since 2018. But again, we now have execution dates for at least 4 inmates now.
Welcome to the Inner Circle. This isn't just a membership. It's a mission. You're supporting forensic truth, mythic blends, and ceremonial broadcasts that honor every moment. Members unlock exclusive enhancements, behind-the-scenes alerts, and direct access to the pulse of Scape news and leading sponsor, Gold Rush Fever Specialty Coffee. Join us and help shape the signal. We thank you, and as always, stay safe. That's the latest from Scape news. We're live. We're watching. We thank you. subscribe, like, share, and ring the bell so you don't miss what breaks next. Stay with us. We appreciate you. And as always, be safe.